It's always been my intention to be the torchbearer for classical painting and drawing. And it's different from academic realism. And what I'm talking about is the great age of sculpture and painting. It goes back 500 to 300 BC, which is the ancient Greeks. And they were interested in the beauty of the form, mostly the figure. And all fine art has been based on the figure since classical times. And that's what I adhere to today. And this was common for hundreds of years. Then it kind of disappeared and then came back during the Renaissance with Michelangelo and Leonardo. So what is it about? It's about truth and beauty. It's an art based on nature, and the artist interprets nature. The artist doesn't copy nature, and that's the key. So we paint and draw what we see, but it's also about knowledge. So the artist has to paint and draw what they know. And then there's Robert Beverly Hale, who was a great anatomist, anatomy teacher. He said, first we draw what we see, then we draw what we know, and then we see what we know. And so the whole basis of classical art has to do with these two elements, truth and beauty. I think people are always continually searching for that. And I think I really discovered that in the classes I teach.
What I enjoy about Jim's class is he teaches in the style of the old masters, and I think there's fewer and fewer people alive today that have trained this way and are able to communicate how to build a painting like the old masters did. And I think he's an incredibly gifted painter and an incredibly gifted teacher.
James Sulkowski's classes, with his instructions, with his workshops that he provides, with his paintings alone, with what he has to offer everyone. It's like the source of sources that you could find for oil painting, for classical realism, for the levels of what old masters tried to achieve, what they are and why they're in museums. What he's doing today is what they were doing then, and now you can come and join in on it with him and what he's trying to do, because he's got it and it's good.
Today we have the photograph, and it's ever since photography came into existence, the artists have tried to imitate it, and it's gotten to be too dry, and they've lost the inspiration of the subject. And so that's mostly what I'm about. When I speak of classical concepts, I'm talking about the basic shapes, which aren't studied very much anymore. I'm talking about a sphere or an egg shape or a cylinder, or, these are shapes that are found in everything in nature. For instance, a sphere could be an apple, a sphere could be a flower like the peony, or an egg might be a piece of fruit, might be a pear. But the egg is also the basis for the construction of the human head. And all of these forms are found in the figure. So the cylinder could be the neck supporting the head. It just goes on and on, but as long as the artist understands how light moves on form, you can draw or paint anything. So whenever I taught my classes, I start everyone out learning these basic shapes and how the light moves on the basic shapes. So we talk about the 5 planes of light, and once they understand that, you can go into drawing or painting the still life, and then from there you draw or paint the head and then the figure. So, one other shape I haven't mentioned is the cube, because not only can the head be an egg shape, it can be a cube shape. These are major principles, and they're found in all of the great Greek sculptures and the Renaissance painting and sculpture. So So in other words, we're not interested in just reproducing the reality of our subject. We're interested in capturing the essence of the subject as we're inspired by it. And we're not only inspired by whatever it is we're painting, we're inspired by the color too. So we talk a lot about the principles of color and design. And these are concepts that are very important, and if we can simplify whatever the subject is, then we really can paint and draw anything. I've been committed to these concepts of classical painting my entire life, and even as a child I was drawn to the old masters when my parents would take me to the museums, and it truly is an experience, whether you're viewing the art or doing the art. It enriches one's life.
Classical realism was something that I always felt was somewhat outside of my reach, and just something that I never felt I could really be able to grasp or understand. And his capability and capacity to convey that information in a way that's easy for everyone to understand has just been amazing. You know, being able to do the lessons and look at the videos and feel like he's right there teaching me is something that I haven't found with any other online course. And I think that anybody who does this course would be really glad at the investment that they made in it.
So I encourage anyone and everyone to either pick up a brush or a pencil, or go to the museum and go see the Michelangelo's drawings, or whatever the case may be. And I think all of our lives will be richer for the experience.